Okay, first off, good news. Want to congratulate Rodrigo Blankenship for being AFC Special Teams Player of the Week. Obviously, a huge honor. So great job. And congratulations to Rod. Okay, just directing our attention to the Titans. Obviously, a very good opponent, very good players, very well coached. Have a ton of respect for Coach Vrabel and this team. And so we need to prepare, have our best week of preparation, get a little bit better each day, right? Lock in, be physical, play hard, finish, hustle, 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 finish to the whistle, and need our best effort of the year against a good team. Um, Also, want to congratulate, as far as congratulations, I should have stuck this in there early as well. Obviously, a huge congratulations to Peyton and Reggie for making the Hall of Fame semifinalists. Obviously, two deserving players. Be really cool. They go in together if that worked out like that. So obviously, well deserving. And then lastly, before we open it up for questions, just as far as the injury report, um, the list is long, so I'm not going to go into it player by player because it's a little bit longer than normal. So I'll just defer to the injury report that'll be out a little bit later. I will tell you, as far as Phillips is concerned, I will answer that question up front with his toe. He's not practicing today. He probably could practice and be limited, but we're just going to play it safe and use tomorrow's day of rest, just to make sure he keeps progressing in the right direction. Okay, I'll open it up from there.
Okay, Mike Chappell.
Frank, on Phillip, and it would probably take, the bone sticking through for him not to play on Sunday because of his streak. When you look at 234 straight games starts, you sort of marvel when you know what it takes to play the position.
Really do. It's just really a testament to his mental and physical toughness, and his competitiveness. I mean, it's just rare. I mean, we all know it. We all know how rare this is. That's why we all respect it so much. And I just think it's one of the things that makes him a special player.
All right, let's go. Zach Kiefer.
Frank, keeping it on your quarterback, I think a lot of us just assumed, because you had such a long history with him before he got here, that it would be a pretty quick transition to get the offense going. There were some fits and starts early. Is that just probably always what was going to happen because of this weird off season and no preseason games? And do you feel like he's really started to settle in now, or has it just been game by game and it's just what happens?
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Zach. I mean, I think it's a little bit of both, to be honest with you. I do think a little bit of it's game by game. I do think there's been a natural progression. I think offensively, we've all gotten better as the season has gone on. Phillip is obviously playing really good football right now. I mean, I do think, as we've all talked about this before. I mean, I think there were times early in the year he was, we as an offense had some good stretches, and Phillip had some good stretches, including 3 games of like 75% completion or whatever. So, but I think your point is very valid. We keep getting better. I think that's natural, and I think Phillips' command and presence of the offense. There was a quick transition as far as knowing what to do, but knowing his teammates more and more, and having more command and doing more, a few more changes here and there, a few more checks, getting a little bit more of that as the season goes on.
George Bremer.
Coach, you praised Michael Pittman with the ball in his hand before. Do you see his running back background at all in the way that he runs, and how unique does that make him as a wide receiver?
Yeah, I mean, Nick and I talk about this a lot, as far as receivers go that have, Pitt's kind of run after catch ability. It just adds another element to the game. And, we've talked about he's violent, and he seems fast with the ball. Like, we know he's fast, but he seems even faster with the ball in his hands. And there's just some players that are like that. And it's hard to explain. But Pitt has those qualities. And, we just need to continue to find ways to build on those and use those, and find ways to get him the ball in space so he can use his running ability.
Joel Erickson.
Frank, Jonathan and Naheem both kind of mentioned that being patient has been a key for the running game. Obviously, that was kind of Marlon's signature thing. Is there a reason that patience is more important for running backs in this scheme than others?
We run a lot of zone scheme, so I think anytime you're in a zone scheme, right, Joel, I mean, and that's a big deal in what we do, a big part of what we do. And you got combination blocks with your offensive line. There is a little bit of a chemistry that builds and a trust that builds, on the timing of those blocks. And so that's where the patience is needed to understand how those blocks, the timing of those blocks, and that the timing is going to change based on how the front changes. And so I think we're seeing a little bit of that where the backs are getting more and more comfortable with that.
Okay, we'll go a couple more here. Kevin Bowen.
Hey, Frank, what have your conversations, if any at all, with Chris Strasser been like this week with the holding penalties? Is it something fundamentally that can be drilled in practice, or what are kind of your observations on that?
Yeah, no, love that question because, I always think that holding penalties come, and we've talked about this a lot as an offense, not just this week, but forever, that holding penalties as an offensive lineman usually come when you're not moving your feet and when you're not in position to make the block. So you're in a compromised position. And so you're trying to compensate for that by grabbing. And if I look back on the ones from this past Sunday, not every one, but certainly the 2 or 3 major ones that stuck out to me, that was kind of the case. And so it's just a question of getting our feet in the right position and then having the discipline. We all know that there's going to be a point in the play where if the runner bounces outside and the lineman doesn't know what the back is doing behind them. And so it's just an instinctive feel. And we've been really good at that really since the time we've been here. Our linemen, we talk about this a lot. Hey, when you feel that back bounce and the guy's pulling away, we just got at some point, we just got to let it go, even if your hands are inside. So Strauss, I think, is a master technician. That's one of the reasons why he's here. So I'm confident that we teach and that we teach the fundamentals the way they're supposed to be taught.
Jim Aiello.
Hey, Frank, I know we've talked about tempo and helping, something that Phillip Rivers is really, really good at. I was wondering, are there other things that you guys do to kind of capitalize on his intelligence at the line of scrimmage? One of the things I was watching back some of the tape, it seemed like you're going 5 wide a lot. I know that, and using motion a lot. I know these are things you guys do all the time, but how much do those things help Phillip Rivers kind of diagnose what he's seeing ahead of the play?
Yeah, there's a balance. So when you go no huddle, when you go right, I mean, part of the goal, part of what we can do as an offensive staff is to try to give Phillip as much pre-snap information as we possibly can. And the more pre-snap information he has, the better off, the faster he's going to play. And not only him, but he can help other guys play faster because of what he's communicating. So yeah, so a lot of times, you do different things, but when you go no huddle, it adds a different element to it because what you can't get is you can't run as many formations in no huddle as you do, obviously, if you're huddling, and as many personnel groupings. But I think what we do that's unique, Jim, is that, we do that. Some of our no huddle is fast, but some of it is what a lot of people call is like a sugar huddle, where it's kind of at the line of scrimmage. So we're not just completely vanilla when we're running no huddle. We can get to some of those formations and motions that give Phillip information. So we try to balance that out.
All right. Mike Chappell.
Yeah, Frank, is there an update? Is Bubba back in the building, and any update on Danico?
Yeah, no update on Danico yet. And, Bubba's not back in the building yet, but he will be soon. And, the plan will be he'll be on the sideline on Sunday.
Last one, Charlie Clifford.
Coach, it is a weird year. Are there any instructions for Thanksgiving? I know normally you would have extended family in the house. What's it look like this year?
Yeah, Charlie, sure. We did send instructions out, very kind of stringent guidelines. Here's the guidelines. The best you can, try to limit visitors. We know there's family coming into town. We try to get as many family members tested before they get here, when they get here, all those precautions. Take as many normal precautions as you can. even when we're home, stay socially distant, even wear a mask if you're in a larger gathering, whatever. But we're really trying to, the best we can, avoid large gatherings. We're trying to be socially distant, even in our homes, to whatever degree that's possible. Just being reasonable and conscientious about it, understanding, the importance of what we're doing right now.